have your seat in God's presence and turn with me immediately to the book of Isaiah 55, 8 and 9. Isaiah 55, 8 and 9. Isaiah 55, 8 and 9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, says the Lord." He says here, my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. He says, "For are the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Oh God. In the book of Proverbs 23 verse 7, we will read a particular place, A of it. I'm only interested in the A part. He said, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." Believers in the Lord, today has come before us. We have every reason to give him thanks. We have every reason to say, "Lord, thank you." Although we are living in a perilous time, things are getting worse. The imaginations of men are getting worse. If we are to compare our days with the days of Noah, you will see that we have done far worse than what they did, that made God to destroy them in those days. But we thank God that after the flood, God made a covenant, God made a promise. He said he will never destroy the earth again. For that reason, we are still alive today. In this chaotic time, in this perilous time, in the time that people are moving from post to post, from places to places, seeking for solutions, if things are working well or working fine, we will not be moved from place to place. And some people today, they go to bed with tears on their eyes. Some wake up confused. And there are people today, they serve God committedly, faithfully. And while inside the church, there is that heaviness of heart with them. And they return home the same. But there's something within them. They just keep on asking, when will my situation change? They are being oppressed by the forces of darkness. They are being oppressed by human beings, by their companions, by their friends, by people they ate with. Sometimes when they compare their lives with that of the unbelievers, it's a different world apart. And they ask themselves, what is the use of serving God? And most of the cases is that blames are put on their doorstep because you are not trying hard enough. But I say to myself, if I have tried hard enough, then I don't need to come to God for solution. If my system is working, I don't need the system of God. If I can help myself, I don't need Him. It will be foolish of me to need God when I know that I can help myself. Because I am not good enough. That is why I look for someone that is good enough. Because I don't have a job, that is why I look for a job. Because I am hopeless, that's why I look for hope. But if I have hope, there is no need for me to look for hope. Now, believers, today I am talking on the topic, thinking like heaven. Thinking like heaven. Begin to imagine right now. Begin to imagine that you just finished praying because of the things around you, because of things are not working fine, things are not moving well. You are living in a kind of a dream. And you are saying to yourself, when will all these things get better? When will I make it? When will I? You want to see the result of serving God, but you are not seeing the result. And after praying, and God just spoke to you. What did God tell you? God says, my daughter, my son, time has come for you to begin to think like heaven. Then what is God saying to you? You just pray and say, God, there's something about my situation. God, I am sick. I am dying. But I don't want to die. God, help me. God, my business is crumbling. People are doing better than me. Father, I need, what will I do? And God said to you, son, time is now for you to start thinking like heaven. What is God saying to you? What will come to your mind? Song says, Lord, what I ask you, because you said in your word, ask it shall be given. I told you, God, if you are not hearing me, hear me again. I am telling you that things are not moving well with me. Things are not well with me. Lord, I am sick. I need healing. All I could have heard from you, receive your healing. But you are not telling me to think like them. That is not the solution. That what I asked for is not what you are giving to me. We may think that way. I asked for a solution. This is not the solution. Brothers, sisters, that is the solution. Think like heaven. God is saying, He wants you to understand that the way you are thinking from the earth, and you are thinking towards the earth. There are people that think from the earth, they think towards heaven. But there are people that think from the earth, they think towards the earth. There are people that think from heaven. They think towards heaven. No matter how you look at it, there's always result. But it is the result that differs, that separates individual. We are designed by God to think. Think like heaven. We are designed to think. We are entity that thinks. Thinking is a part of our existence. It's a part of our life. Thinking makes you whom you are today. Let us put it this way. Your situation is a result of your thinking. Your thinking is a result of your situation. Your situation that you are in today, good or bad, are the result of your thinking. Your thinking today is the result of your situation. Which means this: your situation gives birth to your thinking. Your thinking gives birth to your situation. They are two different things. Other side, there's always result. But we must understand this situation. That we are in this mess. We are in this situation. We want to get out. And the Bible says that everything revolves around thinking. Without thinking, you are a robot. Without thinking, you are nothing. But thinking can destroy you, or thinking can make you. Whether you believe in thinking or not, we always think. Thinking has side effects. Thinking affects your life, affects your situation, and sometimes your situation affects your thinking. Your situation wants to be in control of your thinking, and your thinking wants to be in control of your thinking. By the time both begin to fight, the body suffers. You begin to live within two opinions. You go to the valley of decision, thinking like heaven. God is saying that you are thinking, but your thinking is different from that of heaven. So in other words, heaven have the way they think. The earth have the way they think. So the thinking of the earth is quite different from the thinking of heaven. The way God thinks affects everything in heaven. And everything in heaven think along that line, and everything is working perfectly well. But the way we think here on earth is quite different. And as Jesus told us, he said, you want to pray like this: our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Listen, he said, let thy will be done on the earth as it is done in heaven. Listen, church, it means this: the direction of the earth is not the thought, it's not the thinking of heaven toward the earth. And the earth is moving toward that direction of our thinking. For the earth to be saved, for you to redirect the earth towards safety, you need to reprogram the thinking. We think with our mind. The Bible says we think with our hearts. As a man thinks in his heart, as a man thinks in his heart, so it is. Listen, church. He said, you are a product of your thinking. You are what you are today. What you are today is a result of your thinking. We may differ with him. We may say, God, you are wrong. But God says, the way things works, that it is. Let me take us further. Thinking like heaven. I remember in those days, there was a young man during my school days, as a young boy. He wanted to leave school on time. And there is no way he's going to leave school on time. The school have their closing hour. And the guy began to think, if I get to the gate, what kind of excuses or excuse will I give? He was thinking, he said, I will tell them I am sick. And indeed, the guy went to the staff room. In fact, immediately his mood changed, pretending to be sick. That was his thought. The body responded to it, so he was acting. He was acting. As he got to the staff room, when the teacher saw him, he said, fine, you can go home. He got to the gate man saw him, he said, you can go home. And the young man got out, he was rejoicing going home. I am telling you, before evening, he became sick. Indeed. He became sick in what he thought it was a play. He became a reality. As a man think in his heart, so it is. Let me tell us, we are poor today. The greatest poverty is not you not having money, it's your mind. Once you are sick in your thinking, that is a great problem. If you want to be rich in life, if you want to go far in life, my dear, change your thinking. Change your. Once you have a mentality, a thinking of a poor person, even when money comes, people will call you a poor person. They will say money misroads. There are people today that have a thinking of a big man. Before you know what is happening, they now behave like a big man and they become rich in life. Because once you get the right thinking, action follow that line. Once you have a mentality and you are thinking of becoming a doctor, I am telling you, action begin to follow. Because your words and your action will come into play. But you must have the thinking, you must get the thinking right. That is why thinkers are highly paid. Thinkers. People that think rightly. Not everybody think rightly. Whatever you want to become, whatever you need to become, whatever your dream, your aspiration may be in life, you must get your thinking right. Situation want to program you to negative thinking. Situation want to be in charge of your thinking. And God is saying, the way to dominate, the way to change your situation is to think like heaven. Can't you imagine in heaven there is no sickness? Because people think, the way they think affect them. As a man thinks in his heart, so it is. Look at the woman with the issue of blood. Look at that woman very well. For good 12 years, she was not thinking like heaven. She was thinking like the earth. She went to all kinds, different type of doctors. Was she made whole? Did she get healing? No. In fact, the Bible said that her case was getting worse. She spent everything that was the earth would take from you. But the day she got her thinking right, start thinking about Jesus, heaven, she said to herself, very clear, she said to herself, if only, she said again, she think to herself, she was thinking, if only I could touch the hem of his garment, I will be made whole. You see, thinking like heaven, she got resolved. Thinking like the earth, they exploit you. If only I could. Despite the obstacle, as long as her thinking was right, she got what she needed or what she wanted. Obstacle cannot prevent the man that thinks like heaven. Do you know how the people like heaven thinks? They think at the result. They think positively towards the result, and they see themselves achieving it. Because it is not by power, it is not by mind, but by the Spirit of God. He said, I will do above all that you think. So once your thinking is right, you are thinking like heaven. Heaven will begin to tell you that in heaven, once you are thinking like heaven, will do more than what you are thinking. And that's why we call him the God of surplus. But you must think like heaven to get surplus. I can't make it in life. It's the result of your thinking. You have thought about it. You have calculated everything. How do you calculate it? With your thinking. You have looked left and looked right. And to you there is no way. And indeed, even the little way will begin to block. As a man thinks in his heart, so it is. Have you not heard about people here in the world? They got here without somebody laying hand on them. It's a result of their thinking. As the minister was ministering the word, they were thinking. And they began to think like heaven. Heaven began to respond. Thinking like heaven. How? Bible says God called those things that be not as if they were. They think about the result. They think positively. Have you forgotten so soon about a woman that had only one child, and the child died? He helped the man of God. He gave the man of God a house or a room to be staying. As a result of her goodness, she harvested that baby. She became pregnant, and that boy came. But a time came, the boy died. When they asked the woman, is it well with you? What did she say? She said, it is well. That is not how the earth thinks. She said, it is well. But actually, was it well with her? No. The thing that she valued most gave up on her. God called those things that be not as if they were. That's her thinking of heaven, mentality of heaven. God, as though they exist. She said it is well. That is how to be in charge. If you can see it, you can get it. But if you don't think it, you can't see it. All what we think today are our situation. Once, how can you remove your mind from your situation? It's through thinking. How are you unable to remove your mind from your situation? It's through thinking. As long as you are thinking of that situation, you are not removing your mind. Because your mind must be feast and feed on something. Your mind feed on what you are thinking. Before your mouth will be open. So once your thinking come into heavenly thinking, your mind begin to feed. And before you know what is happening, you will not even know that bad situation is still in existence. Because what you think attracts your attention. Because once you give attention to your situation will spread. Your situation will take. In fact, your situation will become like a big foundation. Have you forgotten? Where we just read now, God said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. But man of God, this is what the Bible says. This is where you read. God is saying that your thinking is different from my thinking. But you are saying that we should think like him. Don't you think God is saying that we can't think like him? No, that was not what God was saying. God is saying that the way you think, that's not the way I think. And my thoughts are higher than your own. My thoughts are more superior than your own. When you are not superior than your sickness will kill you. When you are not superior than your house, you will not be able to build another one. When you are not superior than any situation, that situation will not be lenient or will not obey you. Then the Bible makes it says we are the head and not the tail. The head will think with the head. We are the head. Because once you are the tail, you can't decide your future. You can't think like heaven. God has made it clear time with that number. Listen. But man of God, let's go back to where you read. God said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. God is God. I can't think like him. You can. In Genesis, God said, let us make man in our own image after our likeness. We are the image of him. We are the likeness of him. He gave us thinking because he said they think. He gave us eyes because he said have eyes. He gave us mouth because he said have mouth. That's why he gave us the ability to make choices in life. Because he knows that we can think. Now he said, I present before you life and death. But I advise you to choose life. That human living depends on your thinking. Because when your thinking is wrong, you can commit suicide. Listen, we are coming. When you lost your business or 3 months of your marriage, the thing just collapsed. The man said, I'm done with this marriage. The man thought about it before coming with that result. Even when we say, I don't know what came about me, but there's a flash of thinking within that particular time. And you as a young girl, you know what you have gone through. And you say, God, thank you, finally I have not settled down. But within 3 months, remember that woman busted us. You will not enjoy your marital home. Remember your family said you are good for nothing. But finally somebody came people, and you thought that this man find you worthy. He took you to the altar. For 3 months of the marriage, the man cut it off. Cut it quit. To that young lady, her world has collapsed. What will step in? If time is not taken, all that she will be thinking will be negative. Because the situation confronting her are negative. So, our thinking will become a result of the situation. So it is the situation now that is giving birth to her thinking. And you know that a negative situation can give birth to a negative thinking. And a negative thinking can lead to a negative end, which is suicide. But begin to think like somebody who is thinking like heaven. And the man call it quit. And when she's thinking like heaven, the way she will react will be quite different. Because it is not a situation that will give birth to her thinking. Her thinking is the one that will give birth to the situation that she desires in life. That's different. As a man thinks in his heart, so it is. It didn't say as a man is, so he thinketh. No. When Jesus walked on the water, on the sea, were he not seeing the water? Yes. Based on human thinking, you can't walk on top of the water. It is not possible. Because it is not possible. That situation has given birth to our thinking. That this thing is not done. Look at Abraham. Look at Sarah. She has passed the age of menopause. Because our situation says that once you pass the age of menopause, there is no way you can conceive. That is our thinking. That is the product, because once you have passed the age of menopause, your thinking will begin to respond. To say, God, thank you. I have believed you for years. But since this sign has come, I accept my faith. Don't you think so? Because situation gives better our thinking. We begin to react to our thinking, to that situation. That's how we're going to think. When we say you're going to conceive, I beg, forget about that issue. I know my condition better than any other person. You're not thinking like heaven. God was reprogramming the both of them to think like heaven. That in heaven, in good situation, they program their thinking. It is their thinking that program their situation. That's what God was saying. He says that He will honor the desire of our heart. Because believing that we are thinking like heaven. And that's what God was trying to teach Abraham. He said, what do you see? He said, sister. He said, count it. Hey, what can he say? So shall your descendant be. He was trying to use situation to reprogram his thinking, so that a time will come in Abraham's life that he doesn't need situation to think. He think to program his situation. He think to give birth to his situation. We must ask ourselves in life. Think right. Think like heaven. Because situation around you draws your attention. But they cannot affect you if your thinking is not right with that situation. It takes two to tango. Whatever two officials agree here on earth shall be approved. So you must take your thinking to agree with the situation, to give birth to that something that you are not thinking. Maybe suicide. Maybe to accept that situation, you begin to live in abject poverty, or to die with that sickness. Because, for example, now you are in the hospital and the doctor comes and tells you, oh, mother, we are sorry. This is beyond medical explanation. We are sorry. We have done our best. Beyond medical. You have only 1 month to live. What are they? They are programming your thinking to accept that you have 1 month to live. Are they God? Are they the giver of that life? No. But they will need your permission. That's why even in hospital, before they carry out any operation, they say somebody has to sign. That's how things work. Somebody has to agree. But there are men and women who have taken the initiative, who have took risk in life by not signing, and yet they are alive to die. Because they have on that mentality, on that thinking like heaven simply means thinking outside the box, thinking outside the situation, thinking outside the box. What you are seeing, that is not all. That is not all. In the time of David, were there cars? Were there cars? No. Were there aeroplanes? No. Does it mean that thinking was not in the mind of God? But somebody came and said, maybe after looking at the birds of the air, bird flying, he started thinking. He started imagining. People may have laughed at him, but today, that thinking has become a reality. Think like heaven. Do you know in life? Do you know when you start looking at yourself? So let me give you a practical example. When you look at yourself and you start saying, I'm getting old. I'm getting older because of your age. Your body responds to it. No matter the amount of the cream you use, nothing works. Because as a man thinks in his heart, so it is. So that's why in heaven, you see, they are ever young because of their thinking. Because of their thinking. Thinking like heaven, thinking like heaven. We must come to that place today to begin to think. Let me leave us with thee, because time will not permit us. He said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. But you are saying like we should think like heaven. Jesus said so clear, we are seated with Christ in the heavenly realm. We are seated with him. So we are seated with him. So we are seated with Christ. We are in the heavenly, not on the earth, in the heavenly, thinking like him. The secret of Jesus when he was on earth physically was he was thinking like heaven. He told us clear. He said, whatever I see my Father doing, that is what I am doing. He was thinking. He was conscious. He was not thinking like the people of the earth. He was thinking like heaven, using heaven to affect the earth, to change situations. Today, begin to think like heaven. Never see yourself like failure. Because there's no failure in heaven. People think that way. You can't die in that situation. Think. Get your thinking right. Your situation will respond. Get your thinking right. The right thing will begin to happen. When you begin to think like heaven, you begin to pray like heaven. Once your thinking is right, you can lay hand as a man like him. You begin to call into existence what you are thinking. But once your thinking is a result of a negative situation around you, even when you pray, nothing happens except you take the grace of God. Because you are in agreement with your situation. But you are trying to pray, well, let me pray to see if something will happen. But there are people that pray with confidence. They know something will happen, even if you disagree with them. Because why? They are thinking like heaven. But to the people that think like the air, they say you are mad. That will make the difference inside our churches today. Because your thinking will begin to shape your reaction. Because the way you think, that way you're going to do things. Once you are thinking like someone that is drunk, thinking that is inside the room, you begin to sleep on the Johnson. You're going to react to what he's thinking. So when you begin to think well, you begin to react well, and you get the right result. Let us pray.